I want you to critique my profession. I mean, I do it every day I get up and I'm just like, oh my God, this shit again. Like, just so you know, my morning starts after I drop my daughter off in the morning. Usually I'm dropping her off in the morning. I go and sit in a cafe. Like I did that today. I didn't drop my daughter off today because we're on vacation, but I get up in the morning, take a shower. I go down to a cafe, I have my phone in my hand. Here I am. And I'm reading. I pop up in the Post and I pop up the Times and I just like, I scroll through and I click open things. And then from what I can complete reading with having something to eat, sometimes I don't eat anything, but 2 cups of coffee, usually an hour, and then I'm done. And I try to like close everything down. And every day I'm reading stuff that's just terrible. It didn't used to be like this. I can tell you. I mean, I talked to conservatives who've always, felt the media is biased. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think the media was biased. I thought the media was center left, but like fair. I don't feel that way anymore. I have a lot of friends who don't feel that way anymore, that there's been a huge shift. And I honestly don't trust the media. And you tweeted out the other day that Science Magazine is fake news. So like, what has been your experience? Like, how have you transformed, not just from starting with COVID when you began getting hit by the media? Like, how has that changed and altered your idea of the media and journalists?
I mean, it's frustrating because a lot of the I've met just to again just to throat clearing. I've met a lot of really good faith people who want to get it right in the media, and a lot of there are people I've met that I admire in the media. Um, but like, just let's just stay with that tweet about Science Magazine is fake news. It's been tremendously frustrating because I had a lot of respect for Science Magazine as a scientist. Um, but the news arm of it
When I
essentially
when I
engages.
when I first published a news piece in Science Magazine, I was so excited. I was so excited
Yeah.
to put that on my CV. That was about a couple decades ago, but I was very excited to put that on my CV. Now I'm just like,
Well,
is this
the
true?
thing, the problem is just bad faith engagement, right? So, like, you have reporters in Science Magazine who essentially will not report what we're doing at the NIH in any fair way at all, ever, right? They're going to go find political enemies to try to look at it in the worst, and they won't have a response. They won't like just earlier. I changed how we manage our funding of foreign collaborations, and they somehow misreported it as saying we were going to end all foreign collaborations. Just straight fake news. You have a reporter at the Science Magazine who will not give people who think that the pandemic potentially was caused by research a fair hearing ever in any
Right,
of his reporting.
right,
And so you end up with like a lot of scientists who get their news or science news from Science Magazine completely misinformed about what the actual nature of what what's happening at the NIH, what the scientists are actually saying and thinking regarding the evidence regarding a lab leak. On topic after topic, essentially you have a Science Magazine taking the sides of a certain group of people and will not treat others in any good faith way. It's quite frustrating because they have a major magazine that many scientists rely on for news and science, and they misreport things all the time. And I can see it firsthand because I have firsthand knowledge about what, for instance, the NIH is doing, and I read Science Magazine, and I don't recognize what they're talking about. Um,
right.
so it's quite frustrating. I don't know how to fix that. I do think that having other alternative ways of reaching people, like podcasts or Twitter or whatnot, does help. And so I'm going to keep doing that, even if people try to make fun of me by calling me Podcast Jay or something.
You are Podcast Jay. You're on a podcast right now, and your name's Jay. So you're Podcast Jay.